Noche UFC is going down in Las Vegas this weekend, and I'm pumped to see who comes out on top. I've partnered up with DraftKings, and they got an offer that is perfect if you're looking to get closer to the action. Right now, all new customers that bet just $5 will instantly get $250 in bonus bets. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app. When you sign up, use my promo code SONNEN. DraftKings, the crown is yours. That's $250 in bonus bets instantly after betting just $5. Staying on the action and use your $250 in bonus bets on DraftKings same-game parlays for a shot at an even bigger payout. If sports betting is not yet available in your state, don't worry. You can still join in on all the fun at DraftKings with daily fantasy and have a shot at all the prizes. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app right now. New customers, use my promo code SONNEN, bet just $5 and get $250 in bonus bets instantly. That's promo code SONNEN only at DraftKings Sportsbook. All right, let me ask you guys a question. Is Israel Adesanya ever going to fight again? Just think about that, right? Because you wouldn't know. Just think about that. And follow the golden rule. Put yourself in somebody else's shoes. And that can be very hard to do when you have a rich, handsome, able-bodied former champion of the world. But imagine if you were in that position and you had already climbed that mountain to the highest points. Oh, by the way, you got knocked off it and climbed it again. And now you've been knocked off it. But you've got an opportunity to climb it again. And would you do it, though? Would you want to do it? I never got put in that type of a situation. I never saw my career that way. I was fighting long before they came out with rankings. So whereas I hear guys like sit on their spot or try to protect their ranking nowadays, I hear those words and sometimes I even repeat them, but I can tell you emotionally, I don't feel anything inside when I do. I don't know what that actually means. It was just not a way that I was processed to work. And when you got world title fights, I end up, between the smaller organizations, I end up fighting for a total of 5. And I can tell you, I didn't feel anything different. And I'd rather fought for him than not. There was more attention than not, or maybe some more media than not, or it was a recognition, a pat on the back, even an opportunity to win. But in a larger part, it was just what was next. And what was next is an opportunity that somebody else will decide, inform me at the time, where I will then go inform Course Clayton, and he will tell me what time to be at practice the following day. And I bring that to you because if I wanted to fight, I would have. And it wouldn't have mattered where it was on the card or what the other guy was ranked or even what the weight class was. I get that that's unique. Izzy, I would imagine, is under a tremendous different level of pressure. He's already been world champion. He already won Fight of the Year. He already showed us the same thing that Maurice Smith did back in 1994, which is a kickboxer can win in MMA. He beat the all-time GOAT in Anderson Silva, and many people say, for the history of middleweights, Izzy is the best. The people that don't say that will tell you, out of respect, I'm going to put Anderson Silva. And then they put Izzy as number 2. I mean, imagine how much he's already achieved. Had bitter rivals, taken care of those bitter rivals. And now he sits in a spot where his next fight, for the first time in a long time, at either division, 205 or 185, is not going to be for the crown. Does he want to do it? If he has a fight in his next fight that isn't for the crown, it is not a guaranteed number 1 contenders fight. Make sure you understand that as well. There was a long time where it was get Izzy to the belt. Well, this other guy has won more fights and he's ranked higher. Get Izzy to the belt for a period of time. We don't live in that right now. Now, for Izzy to get back is something that could be done, for sure. But does he want to? And when I look at it, it was very clear around August of last year that Izzy wasn't fighting for the same reasons as he previously was fighting. Number 1, first and foremost, personal grudge, animosity, vendetta. Izzy looked at a fight just like that, a fight. He did not look at it as a sporting competition. He did not look at it as a game that he was fortunate enough to play into his later years as an adult. He looked at it as a fight against people who had wronged him. And you could wrong him by speaking in a certain way. You could wrong him by having a certain thought about yourself that is adverse to him. You have now wronged him. And those are the guys that he fought exclusively. And those are the guys that he put out. Unconscious, made them look bad, defeated them, took their dreams away. But it was an element that he needed. And he tried to get it with Strickland, and he couldn't find it. He tried. And then he finally even said, you know what, I'm not going to try. Let me just zero in. I know what I got. Let me win the first round, then we'll move on to the second round, and then the third round. Then at that point, if going my way, particularly at home, the next two rounds, let me just stay on my feet. Like it was a different thing, and it was a different performance, and it wasn't based on animosity and grudge. And Strickland was trying to hand him what he needed. Strickland was doing what normally Izzy would need to be done to feel this personal, but he couldn't get there. He couldn't get there. I don't know if Sean had talked to him behind the scenes and he ended up liking Sean. I don't know if Sean tried to get his goat, as they say, and just wasn't quite enough. But there was not the personalness that there was on Paulo Costa. There was on Yoel Romero. There was towards Kelvin Gastelum, believe it or not, world's nicest guy. And then he draws back into Dricus. And at that point, he's trying to rehash. He's trying to remember how he felt that day that he stood with him in the octagon, went toe-to-toe, got a verbal announcement and a commitment of that fight before it was lost. Insert Sean Strickland. And he never refound it. He never refound it, but he thought he could find it, and he was going to make that walk anyway. He's going to make sure the miles were in, and the ropes were jumped, and the heavy bag, and all the exercising was done, while in search of that pissed off piece that he's got, that piece of the puzzle that he's got to put in. And he didn't find it. And I don't know anyone in that division right now where he would find it. I don't know any personal matches. And Izzy, for the money they're paying him, he had the most beautiful contract. When he re-signed that just before he fought Bobby Knuckles the second time, which I believe was in Atlanta. Might have been Houston if I'm wrong, but he was there. We were already in the building. It was already fight week when he signed, but the contract that he signed at that time was the most lucrative in the UFC. I can't tell you that it still is. I also can't tell you that it's not. I'm just sharing with you, there's things that make him tick. And being a contender or working your way up isn't going to do it. It did for a while. Showing the world a skinny kickboxer can do it. Then it was, take him down and hold him there. Great. Exactly what he needed to hear. Now all of a sudden you can't hold him there. Yeah, but you can still take him down. Great. That's all he needed to hear, because by the next fight he'd fix that. Now you can't even take him down. Can't take him down or hold him there. And if you ever put him down, he's going to throw up a submission on you. Like, it was one of these things that he was driven by. And the idea of having a contenders match, which doesn't guarantee a title, it's a very hard thing to do. You are digging deep to a different level. Robert Whittaker is going through it now. Robert Whittaker has Chimaev, which, by the way, if you beat Chimaev, you fight for the belt. Everyone agrees, including the sitting champion, but that promise has not been made. As much as Whittaker is saying, if I beat Chimaev, I fight for the belt, and Chimaev said, if I beat Whittaker, I fight for the belt. Like, that sounds right. I would believe that you are going in that direction, but just so we understand, those promises aren't actually made. Which is why I'm very confident in telling you whatever it is that Izzy does next. If he's in search of something with a personal grudge, that's going to help to get him there. But there won't be anything that has to do with win here, fight for the belt, that is going to be promised ahead of time. It's an interesting spot. I saw this one time as an observer. Coach Brandon Slay was competitor Brandon Slay in 2000 when he won the Olympic gold medal. One of the great upsets in wrestling history. He beat Sativa. And Slay came back. He retired, but he came back. I'm not ready to be done. He's only 27 years old. And the practice went just fine. He was excited to be there, and when the practice was going, I made the right choice. This is where I belong. And the coaches that are watching, hey, he's back. He looks great. Everything was wonderful. And the end of practice comes, and they did a conditioning drill. All you're doing is you're running in the room. It's a sprint exercise, but at some point the coach is going to yell, catch the person in front of you, and they blow the whistle. And it was in that moment, Brandon Slay retired. And I heard him say it. He said, I didn't want to catch the person in front of me. To be great and to be the shape that I need to be, I need to sprint and push in those moments. And I used to catch the guy in front of me, and I wanted to. But now, I don't want to catch the guy in front of me. I don't have a tournament coming up. I don't have an opponent in mind. And it's just one of those spots that Izzy is now finding himself in. He's made enough money. He's got enough dreams. I don't think he's got enough frustration and anger. I'm asking the question, if someone out there doesn't like Izzy and they want to fight Izzy, let it be known. Let it be known really loudly and as mean as you can make it, and let it be known now. Right now.